three main blocks to intimacy. The first one that we discussed last week, and if you're on my socials, you'd have seen all the videos, you'd have seen all the posts that I put in. The first one was the safety block. And this week, we're looking at the second one, which is the self block. But what is the safety block? Welcome back for those who were here last week. The safety block is all about where something in your relationship doesn't feel quite safe. It doesn't feel settled. We're not talking about when there are physical issues or when there's issues of violence, but we're talking about maybe emotional or psychological or even relational safety. You know, when things are just a little bit stuck and you don't know how to open up comfortably, you're not willing to do that so comfortably. So you start to hold back. You know, you overthink things, you become a little bit more guarded. And what happens is that you don't quite know what's happening, but the intimacy is starting to break down. It doesn't disappear, it just starts to break down. And then we lead to block number 2, which is the self block. We're going to go deeper today because I see this so often with my clients, both my individual clients and the clients that are couples. I see this very often with them where things just seem to break down and a lot happens. So what happens is that the relationship might be safe. The safety block might not be an issue, but you might find that intimacy is still difficult. And this is where the self block comes in. I call it the self block because it's when something is challenging inside of you. You're not quite sure what it is. It may not be your partner, but it's you. And you know, when you want to say, it's not you, it's me. Yes, the self block is all about it being you. It's all about it being something to do with you. It's the part of intimacy that most people don't talk about. And they don't always expect it to be a me problem. They expect it to be it's my partner's problem. It's the kid's problem. It's the work problem. It's this problem. But it's actually not about your partner. It's not about any of these things. It's actually about you. If you've just joined, welcome. It's great to see everyone. Share this with your friends, repost it. We're talking about blocks to intimacy, the juicy kind of intimacy. And we're talking about the self block today. It might feel uncomfortable to hear it. It might feel controversial for me to say that it's not about them. And don't get me wrong, there are times when it is about them. But the self block is all about the things that are happening for you. And I want to tell you why we have this self block that's not to do with your partner. It's because your partner is not responsible for your desire and your partner is not responsible for your pleasure. Guys, I said it. Your partner is not responsible for your pleasure in the bedroom or even outside the bedroom. That power holds and lies with you. If you just joined me, we're talking about blocks to intimacy and the self block. Your partner is not responsible for your desire. They're not responsible for your pleasure. They might be able to influence it. They might be able to support you in getting there. They might be able to support it. They might even be able to create a space for it. And for you to be able to enjoy desire, for you to explore desire, to explore pleasure, but they're not responsible for it. They cannot generate your desire for you. That might not be popular, but this is the truth. And this is not just about sex, by the way. It's about all forms of intimacy. Your partner is not responsible for it. We give our partners too much responsibility and then we blame them when things go wrong. Hi, everyone, for joining. It's so great to see you. We blame them when things go wrong, but it's not their fault. You know, when we have issues with the relationship, when we have issues within ourselves, what happens is that desire isn't just the thing that lives between the two of you. It's something that lives inside of you. It lives within you, in your body, in your beliefs, in the messages that you've been told as you've been growing up, in your past experiences. It's about the relationship with yourself. What kind of relationship do you have with yourself? And if the relationship that you have with yourself is not great, then intimacy between you and your partner may fall. It may feel difficult. It may get stuck. When that internal relationship, the one that you have inside of you, breaks down, when it is strained, intimacy with anyone else, whether it's just relational intimacy or romantic intimacy, it just becomes difficult. So when I talk about this self-block, what I'm really talking about happening is something that's happening inside of you. It's a thing that makes intimacy harder to access. And I'm not blaming you, because it may not be your fault. You don't have all the responsibility. This isn't just purely about you. The responsibility doesn't lie with you, but it's about you becoming aware. It's about you becoming completely noticing and observing what's happening and becoming aware of what's happening. Because you can want intimacy, you can want closeness, you can want connection, and you can still feel that you're not available for it. And this goes for the people who are carrying on. They're showing up day in, day out, outside of in the bedroom, outside the bedroom. They're absolutely showing up. We're continuing to have sex. We're continuing to be intimate. We're continuing to parent together. We're continuing to rear the children, to manage the house. We're doing all of those things, but we're doing it out of obligation. We're not doing it out of a place of true desire. So we can want it, but we don't actually have the capacity for it. We're not available for it to fully blossom. So how does this show up in practice? How do we actually know that this is happening in our relationships? I want to give you a few ways of how you can notice what's happening. And this is where people can get confused, because things you might notice, things like you in your head all the time. I'm in my head. I'm thinking about this. I'm overthinking it. I'm analyzing it. I'm ruminating on what's going on. You're in your head and you're not in your body. So I might ask, how does your body feel right now? And people look at me like I'm a bit crazy. But how does your body actually feel? How does your body know that something is wrong? And we don't often ask ourselves what's happening in our body. We don't stop to think about it. But we need to think about this. So we start to notice that we're in our head more and more. We're overthinking it, or we're overanalyzing it more and more. Or we overthink instead of feeling it. So yes, it's in our head, we're ruminating over it, and we're not experiencing it in anything in our body at all. We're just not noticing. We're not noticing the tension that we're bringing to our day. We're not noticing any of the struggles that we're experiencing. We struggle to relax. This is another great one. Our shoulders are always tense. There are knots in our body. We're struggling to relax. Just pause, take a deep breath, and just relax. And then we start feeling disconnected when it comes to physical intimacy, when it comes to the juicy S word part. Last week, we spoke about not using the S word so that we don't get banned on the algorithms, but we're going to use coitus. So when we come to coitus, which is another word for the 3-letter S word, we feel disconnected, completely disconnected. It's like we're just there, let it happen, doesn't matter. The lights are on, but nobody's home. We feel disconnected, disassociated from ourselves. And this is a big challenge because it worsens the issue of a block to intimacy rather than actually building better intimacy. And then we avoid being fully seen. And I don't mean being fully seen in our clothes or out of them. I mean being fully seen and being fully known. We completely avoid this. We just don't want that to happen. We don't want our partner to know what we're thinking, what we're feeling, so we just shut down. And from the outside, everything might look fine with the relationship. Like I said, we might still be doing the child rearing together. We might still be raising the home together. We might even still be running a business together. Everything looks fine on the outside, but actually there's a deeper issue that nobody's actually talking about. Internally, something completely different is happening, and we don't always have a way to describe what is happening. If you just joined me, hi, I'm Natalie, a sex and relationship therapist. And I'm here talking about blocks to intimacy. And today we're talking about the one that's us, the self block, because it's all about us. When we say, it's not you, it's me. It really is me. It really is us. Yes, it really is us. So I just want you to think about this, that internally something might be off, although externally everything looks absolutely fine. If you're just joining on our social platforms, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, you're very welcome. I'm Natalie, a sex and relationship therapist, and we're talking about blocks to intimacy. Why does this happen? Why do we experience these different impacts on our mind and on our body? Our body remembers the things that happen to us. Last week we spoke about the safety block and not feeling emotionally connected or safe. This week we're talking about the block of self, the self block. Our bodies hold on to the things that we have experienced in the past experiences, messages that we learned about sex, messages that we learned about intimacy, things maybe from our past, from our parents, from our school days, or bad or good experiences that we've had. Our body remembers both good and bad things about sex and intimacy. It holds on to the memory of pressure, of shame, of pain or discomfort, of expectation, of obligation, of duty and responsibility. Our bodies hold on to all of these things. And it holds on to moments where something didn't feel safe. So we always go back to this level. Our body isn't broken. It's actually doing exactly what it should be doing. It's responding to everything that we've experienced, every single thing that has happened to us. Our body is responding, but sometimes it responds in ways that we don't want. And this is where the self-block comes in. Instead of asking, what's the matter with me? Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? We need to start reframing this and asking, what matters to me? What is it that I actually want from this? You know, not just why can't my body just do what I want it to do? Why can't my brain just be quiet? Why can't I just want this? Why can't I just do this? We have to reframe the question and need to start asking ourselves something different. We might say, what might my body be telling me? Why might my body be responding in this way? Why might my brain be responding in this way? And this is important. It's really important for us to know this, because once we do this, once we start asking ourselves the right questions, we can shift the agency, we can shift the power that we possess, we can shift what's actually happening. This is where things can actually start getting juicy, and we can start experiencing a different level of intimacy with our partner. We can start to change things. Because when we understand that what's happening to us on the inside is actually something that we have the power over, when we start understanding exactly what that something is, we can start to change it. We can move away from this idea of being stuck to feeling empowered. We can say, oh, I can recognize that it's this, this, and this. And rather than telling ourselves no, or realizing that we can only give a negative one, we can start asking, what do I want instead? What do I need instead? What do I desire instead? So I'm going to ask you this question. Do you feel like you're more in your head or more in your body when it comes to intimacy? And I know I'm looking at two different cameras, but that's okay. It's because I'm talking to you on YouTube, and I'm talking to you on TikTok, and I'm talking to you on Instagram. So I want to ask that question and let it sit with you. And if you want to answer out in the chat, please feel free to do that. But do you feel more in your head or more in your body? What's really happening for you? And let's see what comes up. Thank you so much for my goal. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So great. Thanks. So great to see everyone who's here. Thanks for all of the love that you're showing me. Yeah. If you start recognizing that you're more in your head than in your body, and you don't know what's happening in your body, ask yourself, what are the thoughts that are there? And what are the feelings that you want to feel in your body? What are the things that you want to experience? Next week, I'm going to talk about the third and final block. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. If you want to know, I want you to come back. But I want you to spend the rest of this week just thinking about getting the thoughts that in your head out of your head. Write them down and start noticing your body. You might start by just having some deep breaths and just noticing where you feel tension in your body. Is it in your shoulders? Is it in your chest? Is it in your stomach, your back? What's actually happening for you within you that's physical? And if it had a voice, what might it say to you? What might your body be trying to say to you? Once you can do that, you can start to gain agency and speak back. If your body's saying, actually, you feel nervous, ask it, what does it need to feel safe? If your body is saying you want more of something, ask it, why do you want more of this thing and not something else? Find out. Become curious with yourself. What's happening in your head and not your body? What's happening in your body and what is it actually trying to say? Because next week, we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to look at what else is happening. If it's not your partner, not safety, if it's not you, then what is it about? It might be about something else. It's the life that you're trying to have intimacy inside of that might be the challenge. And we'll talk more about this next week. But if I can leave one small thing with you on my very short live tonight, talking about block number 2, which is the safety block, it's going to be this: that your partner is not responsible for your desire. Your partner is not responsible for your desire, TikTok. You are responsible for your desire. You are responsible for your pleasure. Your partner can help you. They can support you. They can create the right environment for you, but they can't force it. And nor should they. Nor should your partner force your desire. Nor should they force your pleasure. They should just come alongside you and support you with this. If this is something that's resonating with you and you want more information on the blocks to intimacy, there's the safety block. And today we've been exploring, and for the rest of the week, we've been exploring the self block. Let me know. And be sure to join me for my live webinar in May around blocks to intimacy and how we can actually move past them, how we can actually unblock or unlock these blocks. It's exactly what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be going deeper I don't want you to just know the blocks. There's no point you just knowing. It's the safety block, it's the self block, and it's the next one that I'm going to talk about next week. It's great. These are great foundational things that you can know exactly what the blocks are. But I want you to understand how to shift them, because it's in shifting them that you're really going to find the most vital transformation for your intimate lives. And we're talking about the 3-letter S word and beyond. You don't have to stay stuck in the self block. You don't have to stay stuck in the safety block. You can move out of it. Intimacy doesn't just happen between two people. Intimacy happens with you. What is the relationship that you have with yourself? What is the relationship that you have with all of the parts of you that might be trying to give you a message, might be trying to send you a signal that you've just turned off, you've ignored them? What is it that's happening inside of you that it actually is you and not them? Ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? What do I desire? What am I missing within me that might help me to bridge my intimacy that much better? And until next time, as always, let's talk about it. Talk about it in the comments. Talk about it on the socials. You can find me on Instagram at LTAS Therapy. You can find me on TikTok, Nat Beyond the Bedroom. You can find me on YouTube, also LTAS Therapy. You can drop me a DM. You can send me a message. Big shout out to everyone who has joined, everyone who has watched live today. There have been quite a few of you. I'm so grateful. Like I said, this is only my second live. I'm still learning the ropes, trying to manage multiple cameras at the same time, but I'm grateful that you've joined me. I'm Natalie, psychosexual and relationship therapist. Fancy way of saying sex and relationship therapist. Just talking about blocks to intimacy and the block of self. If you have questions, find me online. Don't hesitate to DM me. And if you want any more information, I am here to help you. But for now, guys, until next week and until all of my posts and my videos for the rest of the week, let's keep talking about it.